What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Most Foul TV. I'm your host, Don T. Pena, and this is Most Foul Chief. I know what you're saying. Where the hell have you been, Don? What the hell's going on? We were doing so good. We were, getting, two videos a week. Well, like I told you before, unfortunately, I got a full-time job, and it's exhausting sometimes. And really, the reality is, working as much as I do, trying to edit and all that is like if I don't have 2 hours on any given day to properly, make the video the way I want, it makes it a little difficult. And I get behind schedule, and so then I like the last video that was supposed to be, I believe, was the Niners game. I was trying to, and I actually had recorded content for that, and I wanted to do like a whole history and relationship between the Chiefs and the Niners, leading up, you know, from trades, uh, from up to like the Joe Montana trade and all that, and then like over the years, you'd see guys like Alvis Garback and um, who was the other quarterback that we took from them? There was a few. Like, there's been a few quarterbacks that after the Joe Montana days where there was a kind of back and forth relationship with the 49ers and the Chiefs when it came to trading players. So I was supposed to touch on that, and I actually did record it and recorded content and all that, but uh, I just I couldn't get the editing done on time. And then I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it next week. I'll release it next week. And it'll just be like a double episode, and I'll do a bonus the one. And then that week got away from me, and then and like before I knew it, like it was like Raider week, and I'm like, damn it, I really wanted to do a one on the Raiders and just talk shit to them. And the whole upcoming hello, our videos at the end of every episode is it'll get handled when it gets handled. Um, and again, it just time wise and all that, it wasn't gonna work. It just wasn't working out. And then so I just kind of like it's like, well, you know what, whatever. And it's mostly because of my own um, attitude of like trying to make it as good as I can, perfection wise, or trying to perfect it as much as I can, given the circumstance and given what I have to work with currently. Like I said, I'm not sitting in the studio like in the home base type thing, so when I'm doing it from the truck then I'm adding in those little videos, like that kind of added little feature to make it look a little bit more professional and a little bit more entertaining too, like, funny little clips here and there. When I do that, because I'm recording off my phone, like from the camera and the audio, then I got to transfer those files from that to my computer, put in the editing software, and do all that. And that unfortunately all takes time. I mean, I think, like I said, 2 hours, but honestly, I think it's closer to three. It's about like a 3 hour process, and that's if I'm not interrupted, right? And that's if everything's like going well and there's no stupid like errors or slow loading time, internet interruptions, whatever. So like a little 3 hour process. Um, and if I don't have 3 hours, it just makes it very difficult. So I'll try to get it in. A lot of those early videos during the season, I was doing that shit at like 4 in the morning when I was in. I'd get home and everyone's asleep, and I'm like, cool, and I would just do it right there, bam, bam, and like be up till 7:30, knowing I have to go to work the next day at 5 p.m. So um, I just I was trying to keep up with it, and then once it got away from me, and like then I started to feel pressure on myself, like I was like feeling guilty and like shit, and like and so I knew I'm like, all right, I have to step away because I'm like, it is what it is. Um, and again, it's because I wanted to present it in a way that it's a little visually better and something to actually watch other than me just blabbing into the camera. Um, that's why I threw those videos in and all that have added feature. But now I'm kind of like, whatever. Like again, even the backdrop, like trying to have the setup for you guys with like wearing my Chiefs jersey and then um, putting the flag behind me. Because there's those days too, like try to do it every week like that, which was fine. But shit, man, there was days where if I was exhausted, and I think on the Raider content that I had recorded but never released, I recorded and I was fucking tired. I think I had maybe that night that shift before I had came in late. Uh, like I ended my shift late, so I maybe had 5 hours of sleep that day, and then so going into like that Friday where I was recording content, I was exhausted. Like going to work, I was exhausted, and so I'm just like I remember recording it and watching it back when I was going to edit, and I just the energy wasn't there. Um, I could care less if I look tired. Like I don't really give a shit. I'm not arrogant in that sense. Um, it just the energy level was not what it normally would be with me, and so I'm like, do I want to put this out? So so that's kind of why. That's kind of the delay, and then I'm just after I was like, fuck it, whatever, and then I hadn't got back to it. So like I think as things, hopefully as things progress and my time frees up a little bit more, uh, it'll get better. But I started thinking the other day, like I still have my opinions about my Chiefs and the football and like in the NFL and all that, and I pester my friends about it. So I was like, damn it, I need to start going back to the podcast. Um, so now I'm just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna try to record content for you guys. And if I don't throw videos in, I'll throw them in. Like I might not even edit this audio. I might just record this and send it and just upload it as is. And if that's what we need to do for a bit until I can find a way to really block out some time for myself that like every week, um, then I'll do this because it's still three-peat season, baby. It's still historic, and I can't go this whole season without touching on all of that. So we're gonna get into some stuff. I know that was a long intro. Um, so let's just talk about shit. That was a 6 minute intro. Goddamn. Um, but fuck it. Whatever. We'll touch on a little recap of the games and how the season ended. We're going to talk about the playoffs, my expectations. Obviously, you know what that's going to be, my predictions, and the narrative going around the internet, all that. And I don't know how much more in this episode, but with that said, hit the motherfucking music.
Murder. Murder. Most foul. Welcome to Most Foul TV. This is Most Foul TV with your host, Dr. Petty.
All right, folks, welcome back. All right, you had that long intro. I know I kind of did things out of order. Normally, I give the intro, then I come in with the whole welcome to Most Foul TV bullshit. But whatever, this is the comeback. All right, this is Mitzi. I had a long bye. I had like a what was that, like a month and a half bye week. But let's touch on it. NFL season's over. The regular season is over. We wrapped up the 2024 regular season with a 15-2 official record, 15-1 to the starters, which is what I predicted. Right? I may have said this in previous videos. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. But I'm pretty damn sure I had said that we were only going to lose probably 2 games to the Bills, and then the final game because we would have gotten the 1 seed and we're just going to rest the starters and we'll probably lose that game, right? Which is exactly how it happened. But let's touch on some of the games. Obviously, we had that Niners game where I talked a little bit about that on my content and all that. Um, hey, the Niners are washed, right? It wasn't the rematch that people expected. The Niners weren't the Niners from the Super Bowl. Um, so that was what it was, but we handled them. Um, and then I'll touch on the Raiders. And the funny thing is, shout out to my buddy, one of my best friends and fucking uh, old childhood friends, longest friends I've had in my life. Fucking cousin Red, fucking Bernard. Some people down there in San Diego call him Bernie, but it's funny because he's a Raider fan, and he gave me this. This content was supposed to go into the Raider episode, but the Raiders being arrogant is hilarious because, like he reminded me, those motherfuckers haven't been relevant since Madden was created, the video game. Think about that. That's some stats for you, so I'm gonna try to go off the top of my head because I don't remember. But John Madden football, was created on the PC back in the mid 80s. Now, John Madden himself, I believe, coached. Uh, no, he retired in 1979, if I'm not mistaken. Coached from like 72 to 79 with the Raiders or whatever, right? But retired in 79. The Raiders would win their Super Bowls 4 or 5 years later in the mid 80s, right? Now, apparently, John Madden's fingerprints were still all over the Raiders at that point, but, um, he had retired in 79. And then the first Madden game was in like 86, I believe, 86, 87 on the PC. Then later, in about 93, 94, would transition to like the Sega Genesis and like Nintendo and all that. And it finally it became, they instead of just John Madden football, became Madden, like, and from 84 to 93, it was like John Madden football, you know, one or whatever, and two and all that. And then by 93, they decided, fuck it, we're just going to drop the John Madden. We're just going to call it Madden and then the year. So the official first Madden football game, like on the consoles, was in like 1993. Madden football, 93 or 94 or whatever the fuck it was. And that was about the last goddamn time the Raiders are relevant. Keep in mind, they had won their last Super Bowl almost 10 years prior. Whatever it was, 84, maybe 86. I don't fucking remember. Again, I don't have my notes in front of me because I don't remember off the top of my head because this was supposed to be like a month or so ago when I was doing this. But, now they were still and pretty much had losing records all the way up to there. So even the first Madden game that was called Madden in 93, they were already irrelevant. They hadn't won a Super Bowl for 10 years and had bullshit records, almost last place almost every year, with the exception of maybe 3 seasons in that time span. So by the time the first Sega Genesis Super Nintendo Madden Football 94 was created, 93, 94, the Raiders were already irrelevant. They're already a laughingstock. You'd have some smidgens of a good season over the years, but for the most part, that was the last time. It's 2025. So do the math. Well, that's, let's see, 2015, 2005, 1990. But 30 years ago. 30 years ago, motherfuckers. And that's just counting 95. If you go really to the last Super Bowl, that's 40 years you motherfuckers have been relevant. It's about the same drought that the Chiefs had on their last Super Bowl. Pretty goddamn close. I mean, what were we at? 60 some years? So you ain't that far off, Raiders. And you ain't getting one while Mahomes is still in town. So enjoy. Moving the fuck on. Oh, well, actually, no, not moving on yet. Hang on. So what happened? Current events. Where he's talking all that mad shit. And like we said it got motherfucking handled when it got handled. Where you at, Raiders? What happened? We're coming. Yeah, you're going right to the goddamn fucking off season and an early exit yet again, not even making the fucking playoffs. Enjoy your vacation. And enjoy the fucking Pro Bowl if any of you losers even made it. Right? We're coming. Fucking just win, baby. Really? How about just lose? Because that's what you motherfuckers do every season. Where you at, Antonio Pierce? I thought you had the formula. I thought, Mahomes rules, right? Yeah, if you're out of a job, um, you know, I believe the GM's out of a fucking job. Or no, I mean, it's a total dysfunctional fucking franchise over there. So congratulations, you got like the fucking sixth overall pick again because you guys suck, and you couldn't even get that right. You couldn't even fucking lose good to like secure yourself the number one overall pick. You know, like so. Congratulations to the Raiders for yet again hyping themselves up, overinflating their egos instead of just shutting the fuck up and being like, how about we just win a couple of games this season and before we start talking some shit. All right. All right, now moving on. Fuck the Raiders. Let's see. So we played the Raiders, and then might have been weeks later where we played the Bills. And again, that wasn't a shock. Like I predicted. Like we always lose to the Bills in the regular season. Then we handle their ass in the playoffs. Ain't no thing. And keep in mind, this is a game or a season where, as it's been well documented, trying to center myself here, no Rasheed Rice, no Hollywood Brown, no Isaiah Pacheco for half the season, if not more, no CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, didn't play the whole season until we eventually released him, right? So they had to replace their number one, number two wide receivers, number one, number two running backs. They get in their backup wide receiver fresh off the street and Juju Smith-Schuster. He gets injured. They got to go out to the street again, get another guy, and go get a veteran, DeAndre Hopkins. Finally, and then rely on Travis Kelce and the rookie Xavier Worthy as the only starters that were there from week one and the preseason. And that's why I was struggling. And through all of that, oh, not to mention the left tackle struggles throughout the season until they finally slid Joe Tooney in there because when they got DJ Humphries, he got injured. And so he wasn't ready to come back yet. All of that, and we still only lost one game, technically. Whatever. Basically, the starters did. Yeah, we lost, week 17, but that was a bullshit nobody gives a fuck game. And they played third strings. I'll get to that too, but we'll get to that last. Um, so through all of those injuries, through all of the rebuild and retool and improvisation that we had, the Chiefs' starting lineup and main team still finished 15-1. But the national media are going to sit there. What's wrong with the Chiefs? Oh, they can't blow out anymore. They're close margins and blah blah blah. We're going to get to that other narrative later. That's like the third segment. Um, it's like all this dumb shit talking, but no one acknowledging, at least very few, acknowledging that they're still winning in spite of the injuries, in spite of all of the setbacks and hurdles that they've had to go that other teams have had, like the 49ers, like the Cowboys, to a certain extent the Bengals. And what happened to those teams? All lose. Not in the playoffs. We weren't even close to it, right? The Chiefs are so goddamn good and so disciplined that even with those setbacks and those injuries, they weren't blowing teams out. They were winning by one score games, but they were still winning because that's what mattered. They didn't give a fuck how it looked. They said, as long as we win, it doesn't have to be flashy. We don't have to put our best plays out there with our best players yet. We just need to win. Secure the division, secure the number one overall seed, and then and make the playoffs. That's goal number one. We don't give a fuck how it looks. That's everybody else's problem. What it looks like. That's the Bills' problem, the Ravens' problem. Everybody else, we don't give a shit. So, so we lose the one game to the Bills again. Totally don't care. I didn't sweat. I knew we were. The Chiefs played that game, just to touch on the recap as much as I can from memory. The Chiefs played that game not necessarily to lose, but they didn't play it to win. They went out there, they played it. Let's see what you got, Bills. Or Bills on the other side literally played their best football. Like they went and had to play perfect and showed their best effort, putting their best plays on the field because they needed to beat the Chiefs. Chiefs are like, we don't care. We can win or we don't, but we're not going to show you our best plays. We're not going to put the plays that we're going to unleash during the playoffs. We're not going to show that. We're going to give you vanilla. We're going to give you as much as we need to give you, but we're not bringing out the big guns. Not yet. It's too early. We're not putting that shit on tape. We're not stupid. The Chiefs are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and that's the fucking facts. So they lost that game. All right, cool. No big deal. Now, was it the potential to lose the number one overall seed in a tiebreaker up for grabs? Certainly. But again, the Chiefs weren't concerned about that. We get the one seed, cool. That's our goal. But if we don't, we don't mind going on the road. We didn't need the one seed like other teams swear they needed. So we proved that last year. So then, who did we play after the Bills? I think we had the Saints mop their ass, or that might have been the week before, earlier on the whatever. Derek Carr whipped the shit out of them. I know we had the Chargers a couple of times. I think there was those division like kind of back to back. Then we the upcoming game, the Houston Texans. We'll talk about that soon. But then we played them and beat that ass. And it's funny. Well, let's go right into that. Everyone's talking about the upcoming playoff game in the Houston Texans, and even though most in Vegas agrees, like Chiefs are the favorite, which they should be. They're the number one overall seed. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions. There's no reason why they shouldn't be the favorite. But there are media people out there, sports media that are, oh, Chiefs got to watch out, and the Texans, and because of how they played the Chargers. Bro, it's the Chargers. What are you talking about? They were the fifth seed. Middle of like, what are you talking about? Who gives a shit? I'm not impressed. When the Texans played the Chiefs, and this is the game that Hollywood Brown came back, and it was a first game back. He hadn't even got a chance to really get his feet under him. The Chiefs controlled that game the whole time. And even though the score was 21-29 or whatever, oh, it was another one score game. No, it wasn't. Okay. That was garbage time points at the end. And then the Chiefs got the ball back, went down the field at will, ended up on the 20-yard line, and easily, and even the last play, Kareem Hunt could have ran that bitch in for a touchdown. And the score would have been, 35-21. But he knew the game's over. I got the first down. We're on the 20, and we're under 2 minutes. I'm kneeling this bitch, and we're done. Game over. We're not sending the defense back out there just because we want to run up the scoreboard and be able to say, oh, look, we scored 30 points. Who gives a shit? We won. Again, difference between the Chiefs playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. The difference between the Chiefs worried about the win, not the stats, right? But if you ask the media and certain media outlets and Texan fans, well, you guys barely beat us. You only beat us by 8. Really? Did you not watch the game? First of all, that was your 21 points came on a garbage time touchdown towards the end where the Chiefs were up already at 29. Then gets the ball back and just to prove a point. Look, if we want to score, we could. But they just ran it down the field, got it to the 20, took a knee, ended the game. So no, and that was without everybody being back or the majority of their starters being back. Hollywood Brown is now fully back. Got a couple of games under his belt. Had more time to rest. He's ready to go. The offense is going to be centered around him and D Hop. But now you get to, and you saw as those other 3 weeks went by, or 2 weeks, I guess, how the Chiefs' offense started to progress and get better, and you really started to see what the firepower can look like because now Hollywood Brown is put in his normal position, allows Xavier Worthy to go back and play in his natural positions and the plays that they want for him, and as well as Kelsey, D-Hop, and Juju. They all get to go back to their normal roles and the scheme that was written for them, as opposed to, shit, we just lost another guy. Hey, Xavier, we need you to play 2, 3 different spots, 3 different roles. Like, you know, and maybe not all of them are his strengths, even though Xavier Worthy did exactly what I predicted he would do as well. And towards after week 10, really started to step up and show how good he can be and reliable, just like Rashee Rice. He was almost identically uh, comparable to Rashee Rice and the numbers. And when he started to progress last season, so did Xavier Worthy this season, almost to the exact game, which was great to see. So, but now that he does not have to keep that role, he can slide back into the normal role that they want him in. And now they have Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, and Juju as their focal points of the offense on the wide receivers. Of course, you got Justin Watson out there. Is it just yeah? Is Justin Watson or whatever? Or, you know who I'm talking, the white boy, and yeah, Justin Watson, and and whatever other receivers like McCole Hardman's back, right? So um, and you got of course Travis Kelsey, Isaiah Pacheco's back fully healthy. Kareem Hunt has had time to rest. He's going to be healthy or just rested after carrying that load while Isaiah was gone and on the shelf. So And then, of course, like we talked about, the left tackle position. Again, so coming in strong, healthy, with more firepower than they've had all season long. So I don't doubt that this game is not going to be close. The fact that the first game wasn't really close and it was Chiefs controlled most of the game, could have scored 35 points, chose not to. I think in this game they're going to get off to a way faster start. It's going to be, 14, either 14-0 or 14-3 very quickly in the favor of the Chiefs, by first quarter. So they're going to get out to a hot start. We'll see what the Texans have, but I don't think it's going to be what some people are always going to be close and blah, blah. Like, so my final score prediction for this playoff game, 37-17, Kansas City Chiefs. Moving on to the AFC Championship round, otherwise known as the Arrowhead Invitational. Um, and honestly, I think that 17 points by the fucking Texans is going to be garbage time, like a garbage time. It'll be like 10 to what, 30 something on the Chiefs for most of the game, towards late in the game, and then like a garbage time touchdown at the end that'll put him up 17 to, like I said, 37 in the Chiefs' favor. Um, I don't think the NFL and are ready for what they're about to see, because now the Chiefs are almost what they should have been and healthy wise the regular season. Hang on, give me a second. I'm trying to freaking get in this other lane here. No one's letting me. It's a little hard with this slow ass truck. You need a lot of room. All right, I gotta get in right here. All right. Um, so yeah, I don't think I don't think that it's going to be a close game. That the all the narrative is the Chiefs haven't blown out anybody and blah 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 blah. It's like, yeah, it wasn't this same team. It's not the same team. Literally, I mean, if you go week 1, week 10, and now and look at the roster, 3 different fucking teams. Because in week 1, you had Isaiah Pacheco and Rasheed Rice and Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelsey, Kingsley Suamataia at left tackle. Week 10, what you got? You have alternating Wanye Morris at left tackle. I don't think fucking. You have Kareem Hunt as your running back. At that point, I believe Juju and D Hop are on the team. No, the only stays were, again, the only constants was Xavier Worthy and Kelsey by week 10. And here we are now going to the playoffs, and it's now Hollywood Brown is back. And now it's either going to be Joe Tooney or um, DJ Humphries at left tackle. Friggin' uh, Isaiah Pacheco's back, and Kareem Hunt is his backup. So all of that kind of shit. Like, again, it's been a roller coaster, and you haven't been able to see the real Chiefs, and now you're going to. And then not to mention playoffs, the playoff mentality of your Kansas City Chiefs. So, with all that said, it's not going to be close. Chiefs are going to do what they do. It's playoff time. Our season begins in 2 days. It's because it's Thursday, this January 16th. So, I'll probably get this up tonight, so you guys will see this probably tomorrow. And so in 2 days, the real season for the Kansas City Chiefs begin, and it'll be glorious. Now, touching on that, moving on. After Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs win this weekend, Mahomes will, I believe, tie Joe Montana for the most playoff wins in a career, um, which is insane to fucking say. He's only 29, and he's already going to tie Joe Montana with just this one win. After we win the Arrowhead Invitational, he will then surpass Joe Montana for most wins in the playoffs. Um, he has a little bit to go to catch up to Brady. But Joe Montana was number 2, and he's already on the verge of tying his ass. It's insane what this means. Beyond the three-peat, there's so many other little stats and statistical. Well, I said stats twice, right? Statistics and stats is the same shit. Other historic records that are going to be broken or met. It's insane. Here's the other thing. Like some people think we're going to be one and done. It's not going to fucking happen. Not in the Patrick Mahomes era. We've lived that, all right? That was the Trent Green era. That was the Alex Smith era. That was name your fucking quarterback era when we, you know, had the privilege to make the playoffs back in the day before Mahomes. Okay, that shit ain't happening. But the reason it ain't happening and the reason the Chiefs are going to three-peat is also be that team. The guys they got on there. You're talking about a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, one of the most beloved wide receivers and players in the NFL throughout his career, and one of the most talented who has yet to get a ring. You think he ain't fucking hungry? You think he ain't going to step it up knowing that he's 2 games away? I mean, 3 if we count this game coming up. We're basically 3 games away from winning that fucking ring that he never had the opportunity to, not realistically to win when he was a Houston Texan and then whatever other little shitty teams he was on over the years. Of course he's motivated. Are you kidding me? Travis Kelce. Of course he's motivated to make history and get that three-peat. And you fucking know Patrick Mahomes is motivated to not only get his three-peat, to get that one more ring closer to catching Brady, which is his only competition at this point, but to also shove it in the face and everyone that's talked shit this year, the Pro Bowl snub, the people that call he's not the best, he's not the MVP. Man, y'all don't understand who you're dealing with. The clip at the end of my episodes, it'll get handled when it gets handled. There's a reason that motherfucker said it like that. So, we're motivated. And they're ready. It's not going to be close, folks. The closer game will be the AFC Championship, whoever that is, whether it's the Ravens or the Bills. That'll be a bit closer. But I also don't anticipate that to be a classic the way other the previous games were. I think it'll be okay. It'll be a punching match back and forth. But I think in those games, whether it's the Ravens or the Bills, towards the end of the third and the fourth, the Chiefs are going to start to pull away. It's not going to be a nail biter because this is what they've been waiting for to prove the dominance, and they're going to dominate these playoffs. Like, watch. I don't want to say I guarantee it, but I have a strong feeling that they are. I don't think it's going to be what we saw during the season where every game was so close. Like, I think that's over. Now you're going to get their best. It's time for the Chiefs to show you their best. This is what they've been holding back on. So, which brings us to the next segment that I want to talk about. And that is all these fucking crybabies. The goddamn narrative of the Chiefs are only winning because A, they're lucky, or B, the refs. Sorry, I should have had that light on the whole time. The refs cheat for them. I love that one, right? The refs cheat for them. Are you? It's only they only shit without the refs. You dumb, stupid motherfucker. Okay, that's first of all. First, let me start by saying you dumb, stupid motherfucker. Okay, that is the dumbest, fucking laziest take. You're a fucking idiot. You're a crybaby. You're just mad that your team fucking sucks, donkey dick. Okay, I don't want to fucking hear it because if that's your only stupid ass argument, you're just an idiot. It's a lazy fucking take, and you act like every single NFL game. Bro, I saw a fucking Jets Panthers game where there was a questionable call. You're going to fucking tell me that, the NFL rule cheated the Panthers. They really wanted the Jets to win that game. Like, they gave a fuck. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Okay, no, what happens is the game is still refereed by normal dipshit fucking regular people. And they miss some shit. Now, can you argue that they may have biases towards certain players? Sure. I'll give you that. You know, maybe they don't like a certain player. Maybe some player talks shit to him one year, and we're like, fuck that guy. Now I'm going to watch him closely. That's a possibility. But to sit there online and try to legitimately say that the NFL is rigged for the Chiefs to win. Okay, dipshit, let's go down that rabbit hole. Let's pretend you're right. Why? What fucking reason? You tell me. What goddamn reason would the NFL have to choose the Kansas City fucking Chiefs in Kansas City, Missouri, middle of bumfuck nowhere? Other than the Chiefs, where's the tourist attraction? The Royals, yeah, they've won the World Series recently, but prior to recently, who gives a shit? And again, unless you're from Kansas City, no one really gives a fuck about the Royals. They're not the Dodgers or the fucking Yankees or the Braves, right? So get the fuck out of here with that. Like, why would it be the Chiefs? Yeah, the NFL sat there and decided, yeah, we need a new franchise to really prop up and really put the fix in so we could drive those ratings. Hey, how about Las Vegas? They got that new stadium. It's all high tech. It's Vegas. Tourist attraction. We can make a lot. No, it's not good enough. Why, LA and the SoFi Stadium with the Rams and the Chargers. That's a really good stadium, brand new. It's LA, Hollywood. No, we need something better. I got it. Kansas City, Missouri. That's where the money's at. Are you fucking kidding me? You stupid motherfucker. No. At least with the Patriots, when people said that, you could have made the argument that the reason they chose the Patriots, and I'm not saying they did, but because the Patriots cheated on their own, right? But it wasn't the NFL cheating for them; it was them cheating, like on their own. But uh, and that's a fucking fact. Okay, they got suspended for it. But at least you can make the argument with the fucking Patriots that it's in the name, the fucking Patriots, the New England Patriots. So if you were going to prop up a team to be like America's standard, hello, the fucking American flag is in their logo. So that at least you could make a conspiracy theory about because it makes sense. There's a fucking reason. But the fucking Chiefs? Are you stupid? Like, bro. So it's such a stupid fucking, oh, they cheat for Mahomes and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, bitch. That's why when fucking he was drafted, they called him a project. They called him, oh, he's just a product of the air raid system. It's never going to transition to the NFL. He's going to be boom or bust. Yeah, that guy? No, you fucking idiots. The reason we're winning is because in 2012, what are we, third, was it 12, 34, 15 years ago? 15 years ago, Clark Hunt and the Kansas City Chiefs decided to stop being mediocre. And at that point, last place. We had the number one overall pick, and he said, fuck it, I'm done being middle of the road, and I'm sure as fuck done being last place. And what did he do? He went out and got a coach that'll change the culture and create a winning attitude and a championship attitude back in Kansas City. And that man was Andy Reid. So they went out and got him. They told him, go build your staff. He went out and got Alex fucking Smith as their quarterback to stabilize a very unstable team. They drafted guys like Dontari Poe, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill in the 5th round who no one wanted to touch based on a bullshit allegation that we would find out 10 years later was all bogus because his ex-girlfriend, was a psycho bitch and lied about it, got him arrested and all that shit. Uh, like I said, went out and drafted men like Chris Jones and Travis Kelce. Uh, um, other Eric, number one overall pick, Eric Fisher, who would hold down the left tackle position for years. That was the Kansas City Chiefs and went out and got Tyrann Mathieu. Right, we had Eric Berry still for a few years there. Um, I could go on about other players, but solidified, went out and got the pieces and created a championship culture, taught them how to win. And in his first fucking season as the head coach, the Chiefs went to the goddamn playoffs. I forget what our record was. It might have been like 10-7 or 11-5. I don't know, but we had a winning goddamn record and we went to the playoffs. Been to the playoffs every goddamn season since, with the exception of one, which was the year the Broncos won the division, and that was Peyton Manning's final year where he won the Super Bowl. So, other than a Hall of Famer being in the way, before we had Mahomes, the Chiefs went to the goddamn playoffs every single season for the past 15 fucking years. So don't tell me that this is the refs, all of us. Bitch, it's not all of a sudden, you dumb fuck. And it's not bandwagon fucking fans. We've been here, bitch. We've been here. We're the loudest goddamn stadium in the NFL. And this was even when we sucked. So how the fuck are we bandwagon fans when we hold that record even before Mahomes, Alex Smith, and Andy Reid were even Chiefs fucking players? Like, you dumb sons of bitches. But go on with your fucking lazy bullshit narrative because you're a fucking sheep and some internet troll wanted to say that because he doesn't watch football and that's the refs help him. That's why. Nah, bitches, because we're better than you. Because we do our homework. Because our scouts actually look at tape. And our coaches actually create a winning culture and don't tolerate bullshit. That's why. We don't go out and get washed up fucking quarterbacks who have egos like Aaron fucking Rodgers. Okay? Fucking. So, either way. Now, I'm going to end my rant with that. It's fucking stupid. Do your homework. Y'all just jealous that Mahomes is better than you, that the Chiefs are better than you. Oh, wait. Actually, I'm not done. Everyone wants to point to the offense when there's a penalty or some so-called controversial call, even though they're not really controversies. Like, bro, his toe was on the fucking white chalk. What are you talking about? It was pass interference on the Bengals. What are you fucking talking about? They blocked the field goal. That had nothing to do with the fucking refs. Okay? You're fucking retarded. Like, either way, but no one, so everybody points to that. No one talks about how for 2 years straight, until that record was broken recently, I think in that Bills game, and then again with the Broncos game, that the Chiefs offense have held the fucking opposing team to under 30 points, under 28 for that matter, for 2 years. How's that the refs? No, that's the defense, homie. If you can't score on the Chiefs, you don't win. It's that fucking simple. So, now I'll end my fucking rant. Give me a second. I got to check something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, moving on. And speaking of our Chiefs defense, that leads us into our next subject, which is this upcoming game in 2 days, where our Kansas City Chiefs will be hosting the Houston Texans at your annual Arrowhead Invitational. So I believe I said this earlier. All these, a lot of the media outlets, people think this is going to be a close game, and Texans might have a shot, and the Chiefs better watch it. Blah blah blah. Again, I don't think it's going to be close. I don't. I think we controlled the last game pretty easily. Could have scored over 30, and that was without the team being what they are now. Without Hollywood Brown being back up to speed, having a couple of games under his belt. Chris Jones is going to be fully healthy. Not that he wasn't that game, he was. Again, Isaiah Pacheco's back. Kareem Hunt's well rested now. The left tackle spot is going to be solidified. And now we have Justin Watson coming back. Or Jalen Watson, I believe it is. Our number 2 corner. And, that's going to really, that's really going to help the defense because when he was there, the passing game, the pass defense was on lock because you had Trent McDuffie on one side, and he was our solid number two was Watson, and then he got injured, and then it was kind of like plug and play for that second corner. And anytime Chiefs teams wanted to score on us, they just attacked that side of the field. So now that he's back, again, like even the Bills game, that's kind of how they won. Every time they got a big play, it was against someone not named Trent McDuffie. So their teams aren't going to have that luxury anymore now that Watson is back. So I don't anticipate this game being uh, like super close. The Chiefs are going to there'll be some moments, but I think the Chiefs are going to control the game. And I think final score, if I haven't said it already, is going to be 37-17 Chiefs. I believe I did say it earlier. So, and then we'll see who we're going to play. Is it going to be the Bills? Is it going to be the Ravens? I don't know. The overall consensus is that it'll be the Bills. But honestly, it's a toss-up, man. You know, depending on what Lamar Jackson shows, and what type of Lamar Jackson and what type of Baltimore Ravens team shows up, they very well can technically upset the Bills. Um, but it's a toss up. It's a 50. So either team, I don't really care. Let it be the Ravens. Let it be the Bills. It don't matter. You guys are just bit players in the saga and drama that is the story of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the three-peat. And that's what that is. Um, who we're going to play in the Super Bowl again? I think it'll be the Eagles. I think they're peaking at the right time. They got the experience. The Lions are like the favorite everybody wants to talk about. I don't think they got what it takes. I think when a push comes to shove, in that moment, they're gonna falter. They're gonna make it to the championship, but they're gonna falter. So we'll see. I'm gonna come back with final thoughts. I got to take a pause real quick because I'm going into this dumb facility, and we're gonna wrap it up when I come back. All right, folks, we're just a few days away. Playoff football. The real season begins for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans coming to town. We're one win away from the Arrowhead Invitational, and we will see whether it's going to be the Bills or the Ravens, because we're about to handle that ass in Texas. And whether it's the Houston Texans, the Bills, or the Ravens, crybaby ass internet trolls blaming the refs, injuries throughout the season, it don't matter. We still ended up 15-2 with the number one overall seed and a first round bye. Because as you all know, when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, you already know
it'll get handled when it gets handled.